Good morning, guys. I hope you're enjoying this beautiful Saturday. Today's Saturday, and I just finished washing my face. I arched my eyebrows. I put aloe vera all over my face. Now it's shiny because I have coconut oil on my face. Brush my teeth, floss my teeth, gargle my throat out. Okay, so I want to tell you guys about this story. And the title of the story is Kingpins, the Ultimate Hustler. Let me tell y'all about the story. So, the story is so good. I fell in love with the characters in this story. So, it was this girl. She was a church girl. Um, she had friends who were wild and they did different stuff, but she was a church girl. She grew up in the church. Her father was a minister and everything, and everybody has a past. So the girl grew up in the church, and her father, he was like very strict with her. Like he always kept her in the house. It was just church, 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 everything church. Tuesday night choir practice, Wednesday night Bible study, Thursday night they probably had to go visit a different church, Sunday service, morning service, afternoon service, then they go visit another church. That's how I was. Grew up in the church. And the girl was just, her father just instilled church in her. Like every time she did something outside of the church, he act like it was just so evil. He just act like, if you're not going by the Bible, it's evil, it's evil. If you listen to R&B music, it's evil. He just tried to instill in her God, 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 God. Like God don't like to have fun or something. Like God don't like to smile. Like he don't like having fun or something. So anyway, so the girl was a church girl, and her friend was dating this guy who was a hustler, and his friend had just got released from prison. So they was going out on like a double date, and she met the guy in the club, and he's freshly out of prison, so he was looking to get it in. He was fresh out of prison, like he wanted some. So the girl was a church girl, and just by him talking to her, like the conversation that they had in the club, they went out to eat after, and just the conversation he had with her, he knew she was on a different level. She was different from everybody that he ever dated, and he told her, he was like, "You're different from anybody that I ever dated." So once he talked to her, he felt like she was a good girl, so he wasn't trying to come on to her. He wasn't trying to rush things with her. And plus, she was a virgin too, so she had never been with nobody. So they dated for a couple of months, and then he had got bored because he was like, I gotta get some. So he went out one night, and he ended up getting with these other females. They fulfilled his need at the time, but overall, he was really into the church girl. Let me tell y'all a little bit about him too. So actually, he was the kingpin. He got arrested, and so his homeboy took over the family and everything. I forgot what they called themselves. The Diamond Boys, the Bone Boys, Brick Boys. That was the name of the clique. They were Brick Boys because they had went from selling nickel and dime bags of weed to selling bricks. So they call themselves the Brick Boys. But anyway, he was the original kingpin. And while he was locked up, his homeboy was very loyal to him. He made sure he had money on the commissary. He made sure he had clothes, shoes, whatever he needed. His homeboy was loyal to him for I think for about 5 to 6 years while he was locked up. I think he did 6 years while he was locked up, I think. But anyway, the boy was loyal to him, and when he got out, he was running things. So really and truly, they were supposed to swap places because he was the original kingpin. But he was just taking his time. And then so he was dating a girl for a couple of months. They was kissing and stuff and feeling on each other. But every time it got to that point, she wouldn't give him any. And so, like I told you guys, he had met these girls at the bar and slept with them. But they just fulfilled his need for that time. But he really was into the girl. So she wanted him to meet his parents and stuff, his father, because her mother had died. I forgot where her mother died from. I think her mother died from cancer or something. But anyway, she wanted him to meet her father. Her father was a minister. He was like, I don't want to meet your father. I already know we're going to have issues. He's going to look at me like I'm a thug. Because listen, he had tattoos all over his face, all over his body. He was just tatted out. If you look at him, you would think that he was just so evil and so mean. But when he was with the church girl, he was always being goofy. He was always being himself with her and everything. And I guess that kind of made him feel comfortable too, because he could be himself with her. And so it had got to a point where he had to it was a rival group, a rival organization against them, and so they had to go to war. So he had to go out and kill. And in the time that he was, going to war with them or whatever, he really wasn't calling her. He really wasn't connecting with her. She was crying because she had really fell in love with him. She really did like him. And she was like, why he doing me like this? Like, why haven't I heard from him? What's going on? But she didn't know he was out here killing and stuff and everything. And she they hadn't talked for like 3 weeks. She was crying and stuff, boohooing to her friend. She was sad. She was like, why would he do me like that? Why haven't I connected with him, or why we haven't talked or whatever? And so when he met with her, he was like, you really not, you a good girl, and I don't want you being in this lifestyle. Like, we be having people that don't like us, and sometimes we go to war with each other, and I don't want you get between the crossfire. So really and truly, like, he was trying to protect her. Like, he didn't want her in his world, because he was a killer. Like, he was a killer, and he made money and stuff like that. He didn't want her being like his weakness. He didn't want people using her as a weakness for him. So he told her that it had broke her heart a little bit. So a month had passed. She had got over him. And her friend had encouraged her to go out to the club or whatever. Y'all, they go out to the club. I think it was the Brick Boys was having a party or something. They go out to the club. She didn't see him. Initially, she didn't see him. So, they had been taking shots or whatever, and this guy wanted to dance with her. This guy in the club, he had wanted to dance with her. Everybody in the crew was already acting funny, like they didn't want to speak to her or whatever. So she was asking her friend, because remember her best friend was going with the guy that was loyal to her. So she was asking her, she was like, why they acting like they don't want to speak to me or whatever? So her best friend, her partner was laughing, because the guy had already put the word out, like, don't nobody talk to her. That's his woman. But mind you, he done broke up with the girl, told her that he don't want to be with her, whatever. But he done sent word out to my, don't talk to her. Don't nobody try to get at her. If you do, you gonna die. Like, he really did like the girl. So she in the club dancing with the guy. She in the club dancing with this guy, y'all. Dancing with the guy and rubbing all up on her, whatever. He in her ear talking about, ooh, shawty, you so fine, and all this, get with me tonight. Mind you, the man in the corner watching. The man in the corner watching them dance and everything, ready to kill the man. So he didn't do anything because he thought that she was into the guy. But when he noticed that she was trying to pull away from him and the guy was yanking on her, then he gonna tell her, you know how it go when somebody try to come on to you and you turn them down, they get in their feelings and they be like, oh, I ain't want you anyway. You ugly anyway. You fat. They start name calling and being childish when you don't want them. So when he realized that the girl was trying to get away from the guy, he rushed up against the guy. He was like, let her go. This is my woman. Mind you, a whole month that went by, you ain't called the girl, you ain't text the girl, you ain't send no type of flowers to the girl, you ain't message her to let her know everything's okay, nothing. But you see her in the club talking about this your woman. So the man felt the way. The man felt the way because the man had did all that. So they done got into it, y'all. I'm talking about they fighting the man, beat the man in the ground, stomped the man in the ground, baby. Stomped the man in the ground. So they get outside. I guess the man felt bad because the man had embarrassed him and whooped him in front of his associates. And so, it was gunplay time. So they pulling guns out. Girl, it's a shootout. Y'all, it's a shootout outside the club. Everybody running, trying to get to their car and everything. So the girl get home. She go to her best friend's house. Tell me why the man showed up talking about, what you call yourself doing? She said, what you mean? I haven't heard from you in a month. You told me that you didn't want me. You didn't, and he was like, you gotta know I love you. Why would you? He started pouring out his feelings to the girl. He was like, you gotta know I love you. What will make you think that it's safe and it's cool for you to be grinding up on somebody else? How don't you know that's disrespectful? So they had their few words or whatever. So she was a virgin. So finally she get him some. When the woman get a man some. When the woman finally give it up to the man get inside the woman. He told her, he whispered her, he said, I ain't never pulling out. You have my baby. We getting married. That's what he told the woman. He was already crazy over her. He was already crazy over the woman. When he went inside of the woman, when he went inside of heaven, when he went inside of heaven, when the woman took the man to paradise, the man, she had the mind like this. The mind was hooked on the woman. So now he don't want the woman leaving. He telling her, go to the grocery store, come back. Will you, like, every time the woman get ready to get dressed and go somewhere, he like, where you going? He just want the woman under him. He want the woman playing housewife role. Every time he try to offer the woman some money, this what he loved about the woman. Every time he try to offer the woman some money, because everybody else he dealt with, either he had to pay them or they begging for money. They want a purse, they want a bag, they want shoes. This what he loved about the woman. First of all, he could be himself around the woman. And every time he offered her money and she act like she didn't want the money. Well, she wasn't acting like she didn't want the money. She was just like, I love you. I want to be with you for you. Every time he offered to get her money and she denied the money, he wanted to get a woman more money. He was in love with the woman. The woman had took the man to heaven. The woman had took the man to heaven. Heaven was between the woman's legs. And when the woman opened the floodgates of heaven, when the woman opened the floodgates of heaven, the man was stuck on the woman. The woman had him. And some people, some businessmen, some corporate men that make money, CEOs, some of these men, they don't want to be with all these different women. Some do. Some want to be with women, some want to be with men, some just whatever they see, they want it. But some men not like that. Some men just they want to come home to one woman. They want to work all day. They want to come home to a clean house, smelling good woman, they children. Some men don't want all these different rug rats and stuff like that. Some men just want wifey. Yeah. And so I'm trying to make a long story short. I'm trying my best. So they end up falling in love. They end up being together for a very long time. He ended up meeting her father. They had words at first. But guess what happened, y'all? Exactly what the man told her. It happened. Somebody used her as his weakness and kidnapped the lady. Y'all. When the people kidnapped the lady, the man went psycho. Mind you, the man had already told the girl the only woman that he had ever loved was his grandmother, because his mother was a drug addict. I think she died of an overdose. He had never met his father. So he told the girl the only woman that he ever loved in life was his grandmother. So she came in and she had the key to his heart, baby. She put the key in, she opened his heart up. And so he was stuck on the woman, baby. When them people came and kidnapped the woman, the man went crazy. The man went on a killing spree, killing everything in sight until he found the woman. Y'all, he found the woman.